Sit back, relax a little bit. Let me tell you a story. See if yours is anything like mine. Remember when I was a kid? So much better when I popped the lid. Nail the wrap or open it up.
Exactly, listen to Shawnee. Right, and Cash App's the easy way to get money transferred when you're out with friends. So pick up into that and then we'll get back to it.
He said, baby, jump in the back, boy. Tailgate crazy.
Tailgate crazy. What's going on, guys? A little later. I want to start right at 7. We'll get it right. But you know what? This is the first episode of my Sunday edition of Fantasy Reports. And Fantasy Reports on Sunday mornings, my goal here, being the bus driver on Shady Sports Network, I want to bring you the injury updates, those last minute injury updates, maybe even, or the ones you might have forgot about, right? I want to bring you those. Let's talk about some start set questions, right? So whoever you want to ask about, whatever league it is, let's talk about it. That's the goal, is to get it talked about. So we remember to set those lineups, right? Sunday morning. If you're playing these fantasy leagues, you probably spent a lot of money on these leagues. Oh, sorry, by the way, good morning. I'm the bus driver here on Shady Sports Network. This is Fantasy Reports. It's Sunday morning. It's a little different. Normally, you see me Tuesday nights at 7 over on Shady Sports Network doing my Fantasy Report updates. I decided to come on Sunday mornings, like I said, to be able to help you guys with those last-minute injury updates, to get those start-sit questions out of the way as you go into Sunday morning. You get ready for your 11 o'clock on the West Coast kickoff or your 1 o'clock kickoff on the East Coast. Wherever you may be, I'll try to get it in, get it early for you. Let's talk about it, right? So if you're rocking with me, hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends about it, because we'll be here hanging out Sunday mornings, and then we'll come on before the pregame show where they're talking the actual game. So this is going to be try to be more fantasy-related information. So you know how I do normally on my bus as I'm driving, hit you up with that Shady Sports billboard. So let me get that Shady Sports promo. Let's drop by that, check it out, and then we'll get right back, get right into it. Good morning, guys. Happy Sunday. First week of the NFL, week 1. Let's go.
How are you?
Bring them things, bring them things. I call the plug, bring them things. I bring them things.
That's money. That's cash up.
All right. So yeah, I know, guys, I get it. It's early, right? We don't know what we're doing. What am I doing up? Anyway, like I said, we're looking at maybe some fantasy relevant players, that might be, you might want to keep an eye on, so hopefully we have, we can get you with some updates, and hopefully, there's some that you already knew about. Obviously the big one is CMC, 49ers star running back, is questionable, right? He's questionable with the calf injury. He's probably going to play, but having that calf injury, and they're just, do you risk putting him out there? Right? I feel like if you had CMC in the past, or if you have CMC, then in the past, you've seen CMC go out there and not make it through a game, and then you don't see him for 4 weeks, right? You wasted a top pick on him. Hopefully you didn't waste a top pick on him this time around, knowing that, that history, but you might have. So if you did, now you're like, oh gosh, is he gonna make it through the season? Is he not? What's going on? So I keep an eye on CMC for sure, and just kind of see where he stands. All right, hold on, let me see. Getting my notes pulled up. Some other, I mean, if you're doing IDP, another notable one that I just had my eye on is Micah Parsons, right? We all been watching him. He's over with Green Bay. And I know in most PPR it doesn't matter because you're playing a full defense. But if you are playing in an IDP, he will be limited today from whatever every report that I'm seeing, that he will have a limited snap count. So if you're planning, to maybe trot Micah Parsons out there in your IDP league because you knew that he was getting traded over, you may want to step back and maybe look for a different option because we don't really know. And, it's on a new team too. How much were they going to use him anyway, right? So I'd be careful with that as well. Not really so many major offensive players, really. Malik Neighbors, he has a back injury. So I'd be wary of that. You probably have Malik Neighbors on your starting lineup, right? He was held out of practice on Friday because of tightness in his back. However, he will reportedly not carry an injury designation, which he doesn't really. That's one of the early games. Neighbors was second amongst rookies last season in both catches and receiving yards, proving that he is quarterback proof. He had what? Danny Jones, Danny Dimes, Danny DeVito, all the Dannies, right? It was like Tommy DeVito or something. Anyway, but now he has Russ Wilson. They said they're going to have some plays in there for Jackson Dart. They still have Jameson. If anything happens, who's going to throw the ball all over the field like we talk about. So New York's offense is going to be centered around Malik Neighbors when he's out there. So I would probably keep him in the lineup unless you hear decidedly in like the next hour and a half that he is going to be out. Because, I mean, yeah, if you got him, I mean, who are your other receivers? You probably didn't really pick any up. So Chris Godwin's still out. He didn't practice. I don't think he really practiced all offseason. He's probably going to miss the first few games with that ankle injury still. So we want to stay away from Chris Godwin. Get this up. Malik Neighbors. Back tightness. Tiredness. Back tiredness. All right. Back tightness. And then I feel like if you had Chris Godwin, you already knew. You didn't pick up Chris Godwin because we knew about this injury before you drafted in most PPR leagues. Maybe in a dynasty league, if you had him, you probably worked to get rid of him. But in a PPR, non-PPR, in a standard redraft league, in the standard league, you probably stayed away from Chris Godwin, knowing that he did have that ankle injury from last season that carried over into this season. So you probably picked up Emeka Egbuka. Looking at him, looking at their tight end, I'll have to get his name. You probably went after those guys. I'm anxious to see what Mike Evans does. It'll be interesting to see without, sure hands Chris Godwin out there, right? So, but he will not be out there. That's really, I mean, Devon A-Chain. The Dolphins got that early kickoff today against the Colts, right? So Devon A-Chain is another one you might want to keep an eye out for. He was back. He was limited practice on Wednesday and Thursday, and then a full practice on Friday. So He aggravated his calf 3 weeks ago in training camp, and they say he recovered, but still, you'd want to keep an eye on him, right? I mean, I'm just holding on to Ollie Gordon because I know he's going to be playing in some sort of fashion. And when he does, I can throw him in that flex spot if needed, right? I don't know. Well, at least in my dynasty league, I know running back is kind of one of my weaknesses. So to be able to have that option and hope that it does pop, I think I'll take it. And I'm keeping an eye on Devon A-Chain and seeing what he does, which, he'll probably go through. So, and see what happens. Schedule all day-to-day. Football. You see it. Talk football at 7. Talk football again at 9:30 on the pregame show. Get back, watch football when it comes on about an hour and a half after that, and go on through. Right. But no, yeah, I like I said, I'm keeping an eye on an Ollie Gordon, seeing what he does. I know Matt Stafford, he had some back soreness as well too throughout the offseason. I don't know if they have his practice schedule here, and I'm looking at Fox Sports for their injury report actually. So not really anything too deep, guys, just passing it on. Just passing it along, just keeping an eye on these guys. Find something about Matthew Stafford. Jaden Reed, wide receiver for the Packers. Jaden Reed, I think both the Packers wide receiver. Just Jaden Reed. He didn't practice earlier in the week, and he has limited practice the past couple days. It was a foot injury. And he did miss the majority of training camp as well too. So I don't think he showed up on the injury report. He has a questionable tag. It's questionable going against the Packers or going against the Lions. We know it's going to be a tough game, divisional game. But even if he does play, they're saying he could be on snap count. So we'll see, right? Do you want to take that chance? You probably have him. If you have him in, you have him as your flex spot, right? If you're dependent on him, you're probably screwed anyway. So that's the way it goes. Another wide receiver, Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman of the Bills. He has that late game, luckily. But he did aggravate his groin during practice on Wednesday, where he's limited, but then he has full Thursday, full practice Friday. So didn't seem like it really, really stopped him too much. He's good to go. He's not on the injury report, but I would just keep an eye out. You probably have Keon Coleman as your wide receiver 2 or your flex wide receiver. So if you have him in at all, right? I think I actually did depend on Keon Coleman last year in my dynasty because the team I took over was fun. But try not to depend on him this year. I got still suspect. Like I said, suspect running back room, suspect wide receiver room. Waiting on Jerry Jeudy to see what he does with Joe Flacco, right? So we'll go from there and see. But yeah, I don't have Keon. I do have Keon Coleman on my bench. He does not carry an injury report. So he's good to go. No injury designation. So, yeah, not really too many injuries. Hey, just saw the Lions, I guess, happened last night. Lions and wide receiver Jameson Williams agreed to a 3-year, $83 million extension. So, gosh, just a lot of pass catchers over there in Detroit. They're starting to look like the Eagles real quick with how many pass catchers they have. So, it'll be interesting to see how they what's up, guys? You guys just checked in. It'll be interesting to see how they distribute all those passes, man. I'm seeing right here all signs are pointing towards CMC playing versus the Seahawks. So CMC will play. So I don't think that was ever in doubt really so much. So from Friday night, we saw Xavier Worthy suffer a dislocated shoulder. So, you were starting Xavier Worthy, you saw the memes, people starting AJ Brown and Xavier Worthy together. Just a crapshoot. I don't know if I would start 2 players in major positions on both on off Sunday schedules, unless I absolutely had to anyway, right? Because we know these offshoot games, these Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday games, aren't always the most reliable when it comes to fantasy football. So I'll try to stay away from them. But if you did, especially if you had Xavier Worthy as your flex receiver, you are receiver too. You kind of got to stay away. Looking at this, Cardinals are adding quarterback Kyler Murray to the injury report. Kyler Murray has been added to the Cardinals injury report due to illness, but he will start. So keep an eye on that. Let me put that up here. He's questionable illness, but he will start. So we're seeing that. See, so that's why we're doing this, try to catch up and keep you up with those players that are going to be just popping up here and there. Little things just happen, and it sucks too. And you think you got your lineup set, and then somebody's just, boom, something just happens to limit what they're going to do, and it kind of slows you back. In that first week, right, then you're just thrown off. I'm not saying we can predict everything, but at least it helps us try, right? Jaguars are planning to use Travis Hunter as an every down wide receiver and a situational corner. So I know you IDP leagues, the ones that drafted Travis Hunter, I know you're feasting, right? Because you can just throw him in that cornerback spot. And hey, as long as he gets, 16, I'd say even 12 to maybe 18 points, you're probably good with it, right? In an IDP league, which he's gonna get being a receiver too. But as a receiver, I don't know, maybe wide receiver 2. Flex, you could try to use him as your wide receiver 1, but I don't know if he'd get those points, those fantasy points. Browns and Judkins finally agreed to a rookie contract yesterday, but he still could miss week 1 today. Just it took so long, so he may not be out there. I don't know if you're planning to use him. I don't know. But man, we saw some big points from the weekend, right? We saw Keenan Allen getting, 12.8, around 12, 13 points in standard leagues, getting around 20 points in PPR leagues. We saw Quentin Johnson with the 2 touchdowns, getting, over 23 or around 24, 25 points in PPR, getting almost 20 points in standard leagues. It was wild. So, dang. I would say, that's a good one, right? Ted McMillan or Ibuka. What up, Carlos? What up, Chris? Shout out, guys. Thanks for jumping on. Man, I really do like Ted McMillan. I think he's gonna lead over there in Carolina, but also at the same time, I think I rely more on Baker Mayfield to get the ball to Ibuka because they're gonna need to. Dang, so I would probably, let me see what they're projected to get in my leagues. So so I'm just looking at my dynasty league. It's pretty it's a PPR. And it looks like Ibuka is projected to get around 12.8 points. They're projecting 5 receptions on 7, almost 8 targets with 56 yards, no touchdowns. So, and then Ted being that guy, I think he's projected a little bit more at 14, almost 15 points. But still, again, they're projecting him to get around 5 receptions, almost maybe 6, 5.7, with almost one more target for 68 yards, no touchdown. Neither one getting a touchdown, only because he'll be featured too. So I guess maybe in that sense, you can look like, oh, he'll be featured. He'll probably be a little bit more reliable. So I think it's a toss-up. I think you go either way. They're playing Jacksonville, which Tet, we'll probably see him up against Travis Hunter at some point, just because they're both rookies. Egbuka going up against Atlanta. We'll see how good their defense is tuned up. But I think with Tampa Bay having the weapons that it has, having Bucky Irvin, right, having Evans again on the outside, they have their cornerback. What is it? Let me get his name, man. Why can't I think of his name right now? But either way, the plethora of weapons that Tampa Bay has on the offense gives them a chance, and they still have, but they still do have like a crap load. Cade Otton, that's his name. They have a crap load of receivers still, but I think Egbuka is slotted into that receiver too. We did see Otton eat when Godwin went down, but that's when Evans was down too, though, right? So I think Baker will be looking to push the ball downfield, especially if that running game hits with Irvin and White. And as we saw, Sean Tucker and Williams. So they got, plenty of weapons, I think. So I'd probably go with Egbuka just from that fact. But you could go either way. I think maybe T-Mac will probably have the better week. And if you probably draft him first, right? Just because he is that starter over here in Carolina. So, and they got rid of Adam Thielen too. That was their sure hand. So I feel like Bryce is gonna be looking towards Tet a little bit more just to get the ball out. We'll see what Chuba does. He's gonna do what Chuba do, right? You're welcome. Ooh, it's Trevor Lawrence a safe play? Oh man, Jags against Carolina. I mean, we just talked about, we just talked about that Carolina, defense not really being much of anything. Trevor Lawrence projected to get 17 points in my league. Let me see what the scoring is in this league, because I didn't set this up, and if I want to use it, I want to know. I just know we get points. All right. Yeah. Where should it be? Either way, Trevor Lawrence against Carolina. I think Carolina, having that softer defense, you're going to see, Trevor Lawrence breaking out, Brian Robinson breaking out, Travis Hunter, right? You're going to see them debuting and showing all these younger players, right? They got, I think Travis Etienne is going to go off. I don't know. I just got a feeling that Etienne's going to go off. And if Etienne goes off, then I could see Trevor Lawrence having a good day, right? If your running game is good, I think your passing game is only bound to be good. So, Josh, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I do think Trevor Lawrence. It depends on who do you have. I'm sorry. Let me fall back. These are the questions that I don't ask either. Same thing with you, Carlos. Who else you got on your squad, right? Let's see who else you got. Is it just between McMillan and Egbuka, or what other receivers you got? Or is that your wide receiver 2? Is that your flex receiver? Is Trevor Lawrence, is that your only option? Who else you got on? If you got Trevor Lawrence, you probably waited to draft your quarterback, right? So that probably is your only option, unless you have a rookie. But yeah, let me know. I think you can't go wrong with Trevor Lawrence today, right? This is his make or break it season 2, in my opinion. So we'll see. Oh, here we go. Where it says scoring. Non-standard scoring will be highlighted. So it's like a mix of like PPR, non-standard. So, and it's Dynasty, so it's going to be different. And it's IDP. So maybe I shouldn't use that one. I don't even have a standard. Oh, there we go, PPR. Oh, they're all PPR, but it's just like specialty scoring. All right, so I have my no bench league. There we go. I think that's probably the easiest one I can use towards for scoring projections. That'll kind of go across the board to most. Only in this league we don't have a bench, so it's just all starters. So I'm hoping Bo Nix goes off today. I'm depending on Devon Achane. As I said, he's looking questionable. But really not too many players honestly, that are questionable going into today. I feel like, just especially with the game, with the week just started and the league just started the season off with two people, getting their faces spat at, two people spitting on other players, because we know we had the Eagles, game with Jalen Carter getting ejected at the beginning of the game, and then last night, oh man, I had my heart ripped out. Said I wasn't gonna talk about it. I gotta talk about it, man. I don't know. Man, I had my heart ripped out by my Gators. They lost to USF. And the game pretty much ended on a defensive lineman, Brandon Bett, getting ejected towards the end of the game for spitting on the USF player. It's ridiculous. These guys are funny. Did I pick the Jets today? Let's see my lineups. But anyway, yeah, so the weekend started on Thursday night. NFL started with the player getting spit on by Jalen Carter, spitting at Dak Prescott. And then last night, right before my Gators lost, and it was like the football guys were like, oh yeah, you want to do that? Cool. Go ahead and take this L. Take this L home and ride with it, because that's exactly what it was, man. We took that L on the way out. It sucked. It really sucked. I don't know how they lost to USF. It just seemed like everything that went wrong, right? But college football, we weren't. I don't know. I don't know if I was. We were like ranked 13. It's like, oh, cool. We got a chance to do something this season. Now we got to go through and route it up in the league, right? And the SEC, which is going to be hard. We got some hard non-conference games. Man, I don't know if Billy Napier is going to make it, till the end of the season. So I don't know if he's going to make it till week 4. They play like this. They look like they didn't know what they were doing. They thought they were still playing Long Island. You playing USF. These guys have been ready to play for the past 4 years. They've been coming. And everything that went wrong. Whatever, though. So looking forward to NFL, though. Oh, man. Here we go. Hey, NFL game streaming. Always spamming. Whatever. At least you're watching. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. All right. So far, I'm 2-0. I picked the Eagles. Picked the Chargers. Just the money lines. So, looking forward. Let's see. Pull up the schedule for the early games. What's up, all you guys that just joined in over on Instagram? Shout out. Check out the Shady Sports Instagram. We live. We over there, too. We hold it down. We everywhere, man. You like sports, keep rocking with Shady Sports Network. We're kind of all over the place. We're kind of a big deal. And this is Fantasy Reports. I'm the bus driver. So rock with us on anywhere, any platform you're on. Look up Shady Sports Network, and you can find us. Right. All right. So, who's in your lineups? What league are you in? I'm in a couple leagues. What are you looking forward to this morning? What games are you watching? I mean, we got all the games, but what games are you watching? Right? I want to see. I want to hear. I want to see what fantasy players you're looking out for. Who are we hoping busts today? Who's your sleeper pick? Let me see. Who is your breakout sleeper player today? Right? Who's that player you're like, nah, this player's about to eat. Nobody's expecting them to eat, but I know they're about to eat, right? Let me look through my teams. I know I got a couple, man. I just know they're about to eat, right? Bo Nix. I just feel like Bo Nix is about to eat. He has that later game at 2:05 Eastern start, but ready to just go out there and get it. Another one, like I said, Travis Etienne. I just want to see him go out there and pop, right? I don't even know if he is the starter, which is wild. He's still a starter, but yeah, they do got Tank Bigsby. They got Bushel. They got LeQuint. You know, they got a solid running squad in Jacksonville. So that's why I feel, again, too, Trevor Lawrence will be a safe bet. But anyway, I feel like Travis Etienne is going to go off today and eat, right? I thought Amon-Ra St. Brown was going to go off and eat, but now they got those new contracts. And I think they're going to try to feature Laporta a little bit more this season since he kind of fell down last season. They got to pick him up, make sure he's good, right? So I think he might have, you know, we might see a little bit more Laporta today. Chase Brown. We all know Chase Brown's gonna eat, right? Gonna eat it up. We saw the weather over there in New England. Man, Ashton Genty's gonna go off. Gonna go off. I know, just rambling through. But yeah, again, Jameson Williams got that big contract, so we'll see what he does. Some big points from the weekend, man. Brandon Aubrey, as usual. You know, he's 2 for 2, had a 53-yard field goal, 2 for 2 on extra points. He got me 11 points, man. I needed those all 11 of those points, right? Jalen Hurts went off. He was 19 to 23 for 152 yards, but also had 14 carries for 62 yards and 2 tutties. We saw those early 2 tutties from Jalen Hurts. But I think the surprise wasn't even Jalen Hurts. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had a decent game, 24-39, 258 yards for a touchdown, but then also 6 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. He led the Chiefs in rushing yards. So Pat Mahomes actually had a really good game. Like I said, he was going to have a good game. He won't have a whole lot of them fantasy points wise, but he did have to put his cape on in week 1. Lad McConkey, he was okay. He was 6 receptions on 9 targets for 74 yards. Ooh. Got here Geno Smith as a breakout for today. Justin Fields. Ooh. Okay. I can see that. I'll only say no against Geno just because I feel like that weather, right? I don't know if those Raiders receivers are going to be able to hold on to the ball. They're going to have to run it a little bit more. We'll see. I mean, obviously, they're NFL players. They know how to catch. We'll see. But it is a bit muggy out there. Travis Kelce had himself a day, proving why he's still tops. You know, only 2 catches, but 47 yards and a touchdown, which in the tight end world is pretty huge, almost 50 yards. And that touchdown really did help. A.J. Brown, oof, if you had him, it hurt. You probably want to stay away from Eagles players if you can, just because they are super consistent. Super consistent. And like Sam said, and like they're saying in the chat, Justin Fields is going to have a solid year. Justin Fields and, oh, man, let's see. Hold on. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I'll just look here. Oh, there we go. And I like that too because the Jets low-key got a squad, right? You got Garrett Wilson on the outside, right? You got freaking Breece Hall, Braylon Allen in a running game. They got a fullback in Beck, who's a really good fullback, right? Kind of drops off with receivers after Garrett Wilson, but still, that defense is still that defense, right? You still got, you know, the shutdown corner and Sauce Gardner. You still got those linebackers, man. I think because people are going to know what to do against Justin Fields, right? And he was doing pretty good, I think, over in the Steelers before getting benched. And today they play the Steelers. So it's a revenge game. They're going to look to highlight them and show the Steelers what they should have had, right? What they should have used. And those legs, those arm skills. So we'll see. And then, like Sam said, players to watch in coming weeks, if your league scores for return points, and most should, hopefully, if you're just especially if you're in a PPR in an offensive focused league, they should have return points in there because a lot of these players nowadays are playing return on special teams, even if they are starting. So Kevontae Turpin for the Dallas Cowboys, he's their primary kick returner, punt returner, and their third wide receiver, but also gets used in the run reverse game. And that's right, because Turpin, Friday night, Turpin had what, man? Over 100 yards. Right? So, guys, he had 12 points. He almost had 13 points. He had over 12 and a half points. 2 receptions. Right? Got 2 points from that. Kick return yards, 81. 81 kick return yards. In my league, you get 0.1 of a point per yard. So every 10 yards, you get a full point. He got 8.1 points from kick return. So he got more than most wide receiver twos, right? In a standard league, he scored 7.5 points. Still, more than most wide receiver twos. Let me see what he got in my Yahoo league. See what it was. Oof, it'd be hard looking at my Yahoo league, man. I'd be hoping my team just hang on by a thread. So yeah, Turpin, he was projected to get under 7 points. He got 7.75 points in my Yahoo league, which is still pretty phenomenal, right? Looking at most, like I said, most wide receiver twos weren't even getting 7 points. So I think if you had Isaiah Pacheco got 3.8 points in that league. He's a starter and running, CeeDee Lamb got 14.5 points, and he is a starting running back or starting wide receiver from the Cowboys. Turpin got half the points of him. That's even with Javonte scoring 2 touchdowns. Turpin only had 4 touches for 27 yards in offense, 81 kick return yards, and I think he had like 9 punt return yards. And yeah, that was in the first half when they were just sweeping it down. Both teams are scoring back and forth, and that's probably going to be a lot of the Cowboys games. Quite honestly, let me see if I can find their schedule. But I think their next few games are against some really, really offensive heavy teams. Let me see. There we go. Dallas. Kind of. Play the Giants. They're probably going to try to look to air it out, get some points in there. Chicago, they're supposed to be offensively stout, right? Green Bay. So all these teams they're playing are going to be, it's probably going to look like that in the Cowboys games. So I'd probably look at Turpin as a handcuff if you can. Speaking of that, while I look at it, I see, oh, is he available? Let me go ahead and pick him up. And he's not. Why? Because people know. I don't know if he's available in any of my leagues. Yeah. Yeah. Not really so much so. Let's see if he's available in my Dynasty League. He's a little too old for a Dynasty League, too, I think. But if you're looking for somebody to pick up off the waiver wire, somebody to handcuff, whatever it may be, there you go. There's a great one. Kevontae Turpin from the Dallas Cowboys. And then, obviously, too, if George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb goes down, you have a solid handcuff pick because he is going to just slot right in there, quite honestly. All right, so yeah, like I said, I went 2-0 so far. I picked the Chargers, and I picked the Eagles. So we in it to win it, guys. See what else we got going into it. I know I picked the Commanders, so we'll see how that plays out. And what do you guys? How you guys feeling over there? Instagram world. Let me know. Who are you picking? Who you got going? Right. I picked. Okay, I'll just let you guys know who I picked. Right. We'll just go down. I picked the Raiders. I don't know why I should have picked the Patriots, but I was like, oh, Raiders, mate. I picked the Steelers over the Jets. I just don't think that the Jets will get it together and get it done. But both teams are the same, they're in the same boat. I picked the Colts over the Dolphins, which is probably, those are my iffy ones. Was the Steelers and the Dolphins or the Colts. Those are my iffy ones. But then I got the Commanders. I think they're going to easily handle. I got the Bengals. I got the Jaguars easily over the Panthers, Buccaneers, Cardinals, 49ers, of course, my Broncos. Got the Lions winning, the Texans winning, and then close it out with the Ravens. That's my games for today. All right, guys, let me take a promo break really quick. I will be right back. Yo, all right. Yo, guys, I think it's a pretty solid episode for a first Sunday morning episode. I think we did really good. Remember, if you have any start sit questions, still feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll do my best to get to them throughout the day, or you can hit me up at 303 Bandwagon or at Shady Sports Net. Let me get that up here for you. Get that across the bottom. You can hit us up and we will jump on those questions, guys. Honestly, happy to answer those. So let's keep them going. You can jump into groups. Shady Sports Network, leave your questions in there. And we'll get to it. So if you're an X, it's at the bottom of the screen right there. You see at 303 Bandwagon at Shady Sports Net. Go ahead and jump on there. Let me know what your questions are. I'm super happy to get those answered for you. We also have our Discord community. You can hop over in there. I don't know if we have a voice chat today, but we have voice chats on Thursday nights. And then we just have the community in there. So it's always popping off in there, So please check that out. Right. Subscribe to our YouTube. I think we just crossed over 2,700 subscribers. My goal is to get to 10,000 by the end of the NFL season. So help us with that goal, please. So if you know someone that's into football, into sports, wrestling, basketball, soccer, golf, rugby, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure we cover it. But if you know someone that's just interested in stats and numbers, updates, players, information, check us out. Shady Sports Network. Shady Sports Network over on YouTube. Shady Sports Network. Add us. Subscribe. We're here for you. Right? And if you want to talk sports or something, hit us up. We'll get you on the show too. So it is what it is. Right? Guys, so like I said, if you got your start sit questions, get them in the chat. Love to hear about it. Right? But yeah, who you not playing this week? Who are you staying away from this week? Saying, nah, I can't play that guy. Probably CMC, right? I don't know. It's probably I'm not playing that guy. Dang, Packers nearly traded for defensive end Trey Hendrickson. But they didn't want to include Kenny Clark in the trade. Dang, so you think they made a better trade for Micah Parsons? I don't know. Micah Parsons is limited. I know that. I don't know. All right. So yeah, man. I mean, early I'm going to be watching for sure that Commanders game. I got Jaden Daniels in there, so I'll be looking out to see what he does and seeing how that helps me. I'll be watching the Tampa Bay game. Got Baker Mayfield starting in my Yahoo League. Got Deebo Samuel. I think he's gonna have a good season. It's gonna be interesting to see how it works out over there with Scary Terry. No one more. Check one time. Let's see. Another game I'll be looking out for is that Cincinnati game to see how Trey Henderson does, right? I mean, if he's up for trades, maybe, hey, maybe a team looking to contend in the Super Bowl can look into it, right, Broncos? But no, I'll be watching Chase Brown. I got him and on my Yahoo League. And then a couple other players. Like I said, the Raiders game, I'll be watching Ashton Genty. I'll be watching DK Metcalf, see what he does up against the Jets since I got the Steelers beating the Jets, right? So I feel like DK better go off, right? So yeah, I'm here. I'm excited. It's finally here, man. Football. We waited so long. Gonna go, and then all of a sudden it just started going, man. We got it going, and we're rolling down the street, waving to people, right? Hey, what's up? Let's go. Hopping on the bandwagon, got the bandwagon rolling. Dang, do I bench James Conner or start Bill Cosby? Or start Matthew Golden? Oh, there's your flex spot, right? What's the rest of your team, right? I think you're looking to fill the flex spot. I hope you are, because Matthew Golden being a receiver. So it sounds like your flex spot, Hampton Productions. Thanks for tuning in. And let's see. We got the Cardinals going up against who do the Cardinals play? New Orleans. Gosh, man, I'd probably have James Conner in there. Because one, you don't know if Bill Crosby is gonna play. I mean, I know they're trying to highlight him, but they still have Austin Eckler as the number one. So even still, he's gonna split. And then Matthew Golden, that's an interesting one. I would probably just stick with for week one, I'd stick with James Conner. I mean, gosh, Matthew Golden is interesting, but he's going up against Detroit. So yeah. Welcome to the NFL. And is this for your flex spot? You also have Jaden Higgins and Brenton Strange. Yeah. Jaden Higgins, I think, didn't I say earlier I think he's questionable, so probably stay away from him. Yeah. Oh, well, he should get good targets, especially with all of the other Texans besides Nico Collins kind of out. But yeah, I feel like, well, because James Conner, the only thing you really have to worry about stopping him is injury. I know he's older, but dude's a tank, right? He's still projected to get he's projected to get 83 yards with no tutties. He'll probably squeeze in a tutty. They got him projected as a solid running back too, right? And if you're looking for your flex spot, I think, I just think he's the more consistent one out of all those players. So I would not bench James Conner. And if you're squeezing him into your running back 2 spot, then I'd squeeze Matthew Golden into your flex spot. What do you have in your wide receiver spots and your running back spots? I'd like to hear. I'd be interested to see what you have there. Because I mean, Matthew Golden would even, I'd probably have him as a solid flex start for sure. But yeah, I would definitely keep James Conner in. Bill Cosby though is interesting because I think he will be starting by mid-season. I think you will see. And he's listed as their running back 4, but actually I have him listed here as their running back 2. So there aren't really too many updates around him, especially with rookies. You never see too many updates, but it looks like they have him as number 2 in their running back chart. So he definitely moved up. They got rid of what's his face to the 49ers. Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas Jr., which I feel good about, especially Jacksonville going up against that weak Carolina defense. I think Brian Thomas should eat. I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Travis Hunter for some reason to try to welcome him to the NFL since Carolina can have their moment with that, right? And I think Brian Thomas, he proved his quarterback proof. He's going to eat. And then Justin Jefferson, obviously, he's going to get his. So, okay. So then, yeah, I would probably, I'd probably keep James Conner. I keep James Conner in that spot, one, because he's a running back. So when he touches the ball, it's usually put in his hands, right? So it's not going to be thrown to him. It's not going to be – it might be thrown to him out of the backfield, but I don't know if he gets a whole lot of those. But either way, when he usually gets the ball, he's usually getting the ball, and there's plays designed to just give it to him. So I would stick with James Conner. Ja'Cory Crosby, Bill Crosby, I would kind of wait. See what happens with that running back room. Maybe by week 3, you can probably slide him in there. You'll know for sure how consistent he'll be. But right now, I mean, you just kind of don't know. It's Washington. Who knows how much, they've got Jaden Daniels still. He's a running back too. So that's another running back added into the mix. And then Matthew Golden being that wide receiver 1. Yeah, he has a good chance, but we'll see. He's the wide receiver 1 in Green Bay. That should tell you something right there. The other wide receivers suck, right? So, we'll see. We will see. I would stick with James Conner. Bench the rest of them, just see what they do, and then come back next week, right? All right, let's see. You got a couple of other ones here. Oh, where are we at? All right. 10-team full PPR. Drop Drake May for Khalil Shakir. And the other wide receivers are Brian Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley. Drake May is his backup to Jalen Hurts. Oh, we got a different league. Let's look at this question. All right. I'd rather these live questions. Different league, again, from Hampton Productions. For flex, do I bench Devontae Adams or start Stephon Diggs or Chris Godwin or Trayvon Henderson? Different leagues. Well, Chris Godwin, you're probably not going to play because he's hurt, right? Devontae Adams is interesting, but also Matthew Stafford is dealing with some back pains, right? He's been dealing with back pains and pains of being old. These all off season. So you worry about that. I mean, Stephon Diggs is probably your better bet. I would probably stick Diggs in there, especially him being the wide receiver 1 over there in New England. 2 being a solid veteran over there. I don't even think they had a 1,000-yard wide receiver in the past 2 seasons. And 3, look at their running back room, right? Ramondre is their lead back. So I would probably stick with Stephon Diggs. Trayvon Henderson is interesting. But I don't know if it's interesting enough to overtake Stephon Diggs, right? I mean, I guess it goes against what I said about James Conner, right? Running back's going to get those solid touches, but this is a rookie running back, right? There, you think he's going to go toe to toe with Ashton Genty? I don't know, but I guess he is going to get his carries. Playing up against the Raiders, muggy environment. Dang. That's a good one. So I go with either Diggs or Henderson. I think Diggs is probably going to be a better option, being that veteran, but Henderson being the running back and the lead running back in that room. Dang, I'd probably start Henderson. I'd start Henderson. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Start Henderson and then be good with it. Yeah! Start Jane Daniels or bench Lamar. Either one. I probably would start Jaden Daniels just because I think Washington has a bit of an easier task going up against. But I mean, it's hard to bench Lamar. That's wild. You got both Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson. How'd you manage that? That's what I want to know. How'd you manage? You got Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Stephon Diggs, Devon. How did you get this team, man? Let me see your team. You're talking about benching. That's wild that I mean, I guess I could see, but it feels like once a Lamar or Jaden Daniels goes, then there's kind of a run on quarterbacks for the other one, right? Once a Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, or Lamar Jackson goes, everybody else is trying to get the other one. So that's just wild. What is it, like a 8-team league, 4-team league or something? Oh, that's cool. That's wild. I think I'm only doing 4 leagues this year. I have, let's see, here's my no bench league where it's just starters, no bench. They get hurt, you got to drop them or hold on to them and get 0 points. I have my foosball league. It's like a mix of a PPR, IDP. That's an 18 league, so it's kind of cool. So I got 4 leagues. Yeah, 4 leagues myself. And then I got my Dynasty League. These are all in the Sleeper Fantasy app. And then I got my Yahoo League. Well, what? Then you start them both if they're not in the same league. You just start those guys wherever you have them. You got Jaden Daniels, you're starting them, right? You got Lamar Jackson, you're starting them. Who are you going to bench him for? The other one, that's the only ones you'd bench him for. You're not benching them for Drake May. You're not benching them for Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy. Unless they prove otherwise these next couple weeks, I think you start the big dogs if you got the big dogs. And Jaden Daniels proves he's up there with the big dogs. Caleb Williams ain't coming to knock him off. Kenny Pickett, what is Kenny Pickett coming to do? I don't even know if he's going to play. Right. So, yeah, if you got Lamar, you start Lamar. If you got Jaden Daniels, you start Jaden Daniels. All right. Keep it moving. Yeah, bro, I'd be interested to see your whole team, though. See what you got. All right. Keep it coming, guys. We got more questions in. I'd love to hear them. We got Hampton with the amazing teams. Yeah, but I'd probably start Travion Henderson over those guys. Either Travion Henderson or Diggs, one or two. I think that you'd be good with one of those. All right. Let's see if we got anything over on X. Oh, snap. Who has more rushing yards today, Cam Ward or Bo Nix? I'd love to hear that. Get that in the chats. Uh-oh. There we go. Yeah, who has more rushing yards today? I'd love to hear that. I'm stoked, man. Can't you tell how excited I am for today? Football Sunday. Got the Broncos ready to play. Ready to wash that Gator loss out of my mind. I'm just over it. All right. Let's see this. 5 bold predictions for the Broncos Week 1 game versus the Titans. Zach Kelberman. Bo Nix will enjoy a hyper-efficient outing, a completion percentage north of 80%, pair of passing touchdowns, no picks, no sacks taken. That'd be solid, right? For any day against any NFL team. RJ Harvey, not J.K. Dobbins, will handle the first carry for the Broncos. Harvey will also finish with more yards from scrimmage. So we'll be watching for that. We'll see. New Broncos tight end Evan Ingram will catch Bo Nix's first touchdown of the 2025 season. It'll come on a short red zone jump ball. Something tells me Sean Payton has FOMO about getting Ingram involved, and that should happen early. Number 4, the Broncos defense will be all over Titans rookie Cam Ward from the opening whistle. They'll total 6 sacks via Nick Benito, Zach Allen, Jonathan Cooper, JFM, and Jade Barron on a slot blitz. What? At least one will result in a fumble recovery. They'll also force 2 picks, Brandon Jones, Jaquan McMillan. Yo, this happens. These are some amazing takes, right? I would be here for this game. Hottest takes. Number 5, the Titans will not score a touchdown against Denver's relentless defense. A few field goals, perhaps, but the away team, led by a battered Ward, won't find pay dirt at Empower Field. Let's go. Added on. Cam Ward throw three picks. Dylan with the Troy Franklin parlay. Troy Franklin have 90-plus yards. We'll see. So, yeah, Troy Franklin to have 90-plus yards and score a touchdown anytime. Okay. Yeah, those are some overblown predictions, but if that happens, I'm here for it, right? Shout out to Melo. Yo, Melo got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And then he shout out the Nuggets too. It's classy. I don't know if they should retire his jersey or not, just because of the way he did go out, and then we did have somebody come back in and just dominate with that jersey. You can't. I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I mean, Melo did a lot. I was rocking with Melo and the Nuggets. He made the Nuggets super relevant, right? Not the jump course, just to touch on that real quick, because he just got the Hall of Fame jacket, right? He just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Melo did do quite a bit for the Nuggets, but the way that it ended, I mean, you ain't just because you dated someone, right? And they were amazing, does not mean that when you're new, your spouse comes in and your spouse is much better, you're not going to still worry about that person that was amazing, right? Now, if it's someone you dated and you married that person, right, and they ended up going away, it was mutual parting ways, right? It wasn't any bad blood, and they go another way, and maybe you guys work together, pick a destination, it wasn't anything public, and then you retire there, you know, you keep their wedding ring, right? You keep that wedding ring forever. No one else can use that wedding ring, right? That's kind of how it is. Like with Melo, like him and the Nuggets, they left on bad terms, right? And then he went into his place, and then he kept going with greatness. That doesn't mean they have to retire his jersey, right? Is New York going to retire his jersey, right? Is Portland going to retire his jersey? Is OKC going to retire his jersey? Just because someone's great doesn't mean it has to be great across the board. And then you can't scream for it to be retired after you have someone come in and dominate in that jersey number for the past 10 years. That's just the way it is. Ashton Genty showed up looking like Kai Cenat. Looked like a hood Where's Waldo coming up in there. Yeah, new NFL is wild. Why are they all about No, whatever. Anyway, I'm just saying. It's just what it is. Bo Nix will have more rushing yards. I think the Broncos are going to come in and dominate. Yo, Hampton, thanks for rocking with me. I think I'm going to smash up out of here. But like I said, we should be back. I should be back here in like an hour on the another breakout player, Kayshon Boutte against the Raiders. We'll see. We'll see. I like what was I talking about? I forget. Lost my train of thought looking at other stuff. Oh, I was looking to see if the pregame report was going to be today. Right? So it should be coming on here in the next hour. Over here on Shady Sports Network. So keep rocking with us, guys. Thank you to Hampton Productions. Thank you, Sam, for tuning in. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Carlos. Hey, Chris, shout out. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I hope you guys all hit that like button. I hope you all hit that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, if you're not on YouTube, I hope you go over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. All you people on X, I hope you follow us at 303 Bandwagon, at Shady Sports Net. I hope you go over to Facebook. And then I hope you join our groups, Shady Sports Network, Mile High Bandwagon. These are some great groups to be in, man, especially if you're into fantasy football, if you're into football. We got year-round football, man. CFL, UFL, EuroLeague, the LFA, indoor leagues galore, arena football galore. We got all types of football year-round. So I'm pretty sure there's one-on-one football out there somewhere. There's a basketball league that has no backboards, right? So there's all type of stuff out there. I know when I was young, we used to play this game. We call it fumble. Pretty much baseball with a baseball bat and a tennis ball. But, like, that was it. You just pitch it, and then whoever caught it get the hit. No bases, no nothing. We just, It was fun. And we played throw-up tackle, right, where you just threw the football up in the air, you caught it, and you try to score. Whoever caught it. Everybody else try to tackle you. No teams, just go. So, I'd love to hear Tuesday who let your team down this weekend. Hopefully nobody, right? Hopefully nobody lets your team down. And then, like, every Sunday morning, I'm going to try to give you those live injury updates, right? Try to keep you guys updated and keep your teams good to go before you go into Sunday, or at least help you look at your team. I think that's the goal, right? Is to at least help you take a look at your team, make sure everybody's good, right? Make sure you got the right players in. Make sure the players that may be out, maybe questionable, you got somebody else to replace them. And just to talk football, man. So get in here and talk football with me Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Denver time. And Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Denver time on the Shady Sports Network. This is Fantasy Reports. I'm the bus driver. And I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Tell me who you're rocking with, who you got winning today, right? I got to get my bets right. So tell me who to bet on, right? I'd love to hear that. Also, I need a barber. So if you guys are around the Denver area, you know any barbers, let me know, right? I need a good barber to go to. So keep rocking with me, guys. Always a pleasure. Always fun hanging out with you guys. I love just talking sports. I love just talking football. So come talk football with me. Come talk basketball. Come talk Denver sports. Come talk Buffalo Bills. I don't care. Let's talk this Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson fight that's supposed to be coming up, right? I'm here to talk it, especially if it's popping right now. That's the point of the bandwagon. So let's get it going, guys. Again, I'm the bus driver. It's been fun. Peace out, Hampton. Peace out, everyone else. Thanks for rocking with me. Have a great day. And go Broncos.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.